Hey Space Watchers, we are at the end of the first Lunar Day, as I call it. It's officially the UN Conference on Sustainable Lunar Activities. And that was a wonderful day that we have seen here in Vienna. And with me to wrap up this day is the director of UNOOSA, Ms. Aarti Holla-Maini. Aarti, how are you doing today?
A little tired, but good.
You had a fantastic conference, so you must be over the moon.
Yes, well, I'm still waiting for you to sing me Fly Me to the Moon, Torsten. But
You don't want to have me singing, so that's... No,
Yeah.
no.
No, it was a great event.
So
I think.
how does it feel that this first event that you and your team put together is now over? Big relief? Or did the work just started?
The work has just started, but this is the first time that the United Nations and especially UNOOSA has ever done a public event. And so it was a learning experience for us. It's tough when you have to learn on a very important topic already. So you're learning, you would like to practice, but you can't. You just have to move forward. And it happens to be a topic which is very important at this COPUS plenary meeting, which starts tomorrow.
That's right.
But I think we did well, and it was something new not only for the office, but also for member states and also for the industry that participated.
What would be some takeaways that you would offer from this event to our audience, or have your goals fulfilled, so to speak?
Our objective was to foster an open discussion and to really help enhance member states' understanding of each other's positions and motivations. And I believe that we have done that. At least the feedback that we have got has done that. And it was particularly interesting to see member states asking each other questions, listening to each other, but also asking industry quite a few questions. And so that tells us that there is an appetite to have more of these exchanges because they are deemed valuable.
And just to bring our audience here within our conversation, we talk about China, we talk about Russia, which was active today, and of course the US and the allies. So we had both blocks, both big lunar activities, Artemis Accords and ILRS, well represented. I think I never have seen it in this density. I mean, except now on IEC or these occasions, but
Yes.
That was interesting.
It was very much our intention to bring together signatories of both and to mix them up into different panels in order to keep balance throughout the sessions, in order to not pit one initiative against the other, because that was also one of the common conclusions, that we should avoid talking about competition and only focus on collaboration.
Absolutely, and that was something that what struck me today is this discussion about, is it competitive or what are the similarities, and that also pushed forward by a number of signatories from the Artemis Accords, and that was for me very remarkable, and we will follow up on that.
Okay.
Absolutely. So, but one of the new initiatives that was raised also today, and that will be then tomorrow brought to COPUS, is ATLAC. It's an abbreviation we have to get used, and that's the Action Team for Lunar Activity Consulting. What is your view on that? That's a Romanian initiative that was proposed by, or will be proposed by them. So what is your view on that?
It was already proposed by Romania in January and further discussed at the LSC in April. And there have been informal consultations ever since it was proposed. It's an extremely important proposal. I think what we learned today was that there is considerable appetite from all member states to drive it forward. Why? Because they see a really urgent need to come up with a mechanism that allows for exchange of information to ensure safety.
Information is a key word here. All these activities that we will see on the moon will be based on information. So of course, so information sharing is...
Yes, but I think we should break that down.
Okay.
There's two levels of information sharing. One is right now in the immediate future to find some way of allowing different actors with their missions to share information about those missions. When will they fly? Where will they go to? What are their plans in order to avoid conflict, to minimize the risk of interference somehow? And to coordinate. We don't want to see, if there's 100 missions going to the moon between now and 2030, we don't want to see them bumping into each other.
I found that as a remarkable statement of one of the delegates earlier today, who said, we are fine if we are not bumping into each other. We say, wow, on what level, as you said, on information are we talking about? It's not these high sophisticated top level stuff, it's really the basics exchange, right?
It is basics, and it's even like points of contact. Who do you call if you see a conjunction of something which might happen, right? We see this in space situational awareness already now. So it's the same thing, basically talking about cislunar and lunar activities. But the other level of information sharing is sharing the results of research which is conducted in line with the Outer Space Treaty, which says that all of this exploration is for the benefit of all humankind, right? So there was also that conversation where everybody was very conscious of the fact that we must remember that this is not just about the spacefaring or the moonfaring nations, it's about developing countries as well, and we must ensure equity in the research that we do and ensure that the information is spread.
I think the critical point that I observed today is the science information, the research information based on science mission are not debated at large, because there's a consensus that will be shared and so on. But now it comes to commercial data as well, and the intertwining level of data based on research, scientific research, that led then to a commercial mission, how to deal with that. So I think maybe your industry heritage from the satellite industry can play in here, and you can offer something from your view.
I think NASA was helpful when they said that whichever companies are going on missions because of the NASA CLIPS program or whatever, they are covered by the principles of the Artemis Accords, which are very much in line with what we said about the Outer Space Treaty. Right. Other purely commercial activities do not fall within that necessarily. So that is something which I think member states will have to discuss. How do we handle that? What do we do with that?
What are the most practical and concrete actions that will follow now?
Well, on the member states themselves is the initiative to discuss and hopefully shepherd through the proposal on ATLAC, and then for UNOOSA to support member states in moving that action team forward. You know, I know very well from my previous life, and it's the same here, if you leave member companies, member states to their own devices, we might not move forward. It requires a bit of leadership, a bit of thought leadership, a bit of shepherding to move it forward and keep them going in the same direction. So that's very much our role, and we will try to do it as best we can.
I see. So the next days, we will see, the next 2 weeks, we will see the 67th session of the Committee of the Peaceful Use of Outer Space. I think that's correctly said, led by you then as well. So it will be 2 intense weeks, I assume. Good luck with that. I will be there the next 2 days and try to follow as best as I can. And then with that, thank you very much for your time after this warm-up day, so to say. And it is actually a very warm day here in Vienna with 30+ degrees outside. Summer is arriving. Aarti, thank you very much. And with that, Space Watch out.
Thank you.